I only have one rule that I always stick to at uni, and that's that I'm only allowed to study between the hours of 9 to 5. And that means that my life looks a bit more like this than this. What's up guys, welcome to our 3-part series on how to study smart. In the intro I said I only revise 9 to 5 and I'm not even joking. I do whatever I want after 5 PM pretty much right up until exam time, and that's because whenever I do study, I've trained myself to be so intensely focused for 3 hours that I don't revise anything anytime after 5 PM. In this first video of the series, I'm going to explain to you why you should study using a technique called deep work. In the second video, Zoe will talk to you about how you should actually revise in those 3 hours to make them as effective as possible. And in the third video, I'll discuss how to remain focused in these study sessions. Let's get into it. So what is deep work? Cal Newport, the author of Deep Work, defines it as professional activities performed in a state of distraction-free concentration that pushes your cognitive capabilities to their limit. These efforts create new value, improve your skill, and are hard to replicate. Basically, for students, it's studying intensely with no distractions for certain periods of time to create the best possible work that you can create. The author uses the formula, high quality work produced is equal to time spent multiplied by the intensity of the focus. To produce high quality work, you can either spend a lot of time with a low intensity of focus, and that's what most students tend to do, or you can spend much less time, but with a very high intensity of focus and still produce the same high quality work. Cal Newport, the author of this book, is a professor at MIT, and when he first started implementing these rules of deep work, he went from publishing 4 academic papers 1 year, which is already difficult to achieve, to publishing 9 papers in just 1 year, while writing this book, teaching, and making time for his family every day after 5 PM. Studies show that the highest achieving students study less than those who are scoring just below them in terms of GPA rankings in America's top colleges, and that's because a lot of them are utilizing deep work. I use these same methods to be able to study for my final year at dental school, run this YouTube channel, maintain a social life, and play games for hours on end every single day. Before I move on to discuss shallow work, I'd really appreciate if you guys gave this video a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow and reach more people. So, shallow work. On the opposite end, he describes shallow work to be non-cognitively demanding tasks, often performed while distracted. These efforts tend not to create much new value and are easy to replicate. This is basically when you randomly decide to sit down and study, but you also have your phone notifications on and you're distracted every now and then. You can spend a whole lot of effort studying in shallow work and not really achieve a quarter of what you would in deep work. That said, there are certain tasks which shallow work is perfect for, and there's no need to put in all that focus and energy, like replying to emails, for example, or dealing with social media, or planning your next day's work schedule. So let's say you're studying alone and you get a notification on your phone. You check it and Bob's commented on your new IG post. You read the comment, you briefly think about what you want to reply, and then you think, oh damn, no, I don't want to lose what I was just studying. Let me reply later. Now for the rest of the duration while you're studying, you have a small part of your brain which is focused on what you're going to reply to Bob, which means you wouldn't be able to study at 100% focus. Now, let's say more things pop up while you're studying. Your mum tells you to do the dishes, and you also receive an email from uni which you need to reply to at some point. The more and more things you allow to distract you, the more divided your attention would be, and now you might only be putting in 50% into studying, even though you decided not to do anything about Bob, the dishes, or the email straight away. This is a phenomenon called attention residue. It's the idea that the shallower you study, the more fragmented your attention would be between all the tasks. The intensity of focus here has reduced, so to be able to produce the high quality of work needed for you to pass the exam, you will need to spend a lot more time studying. This is the struggle most students go through. Hopefully by now you can see why you'd be better off working in a state of undistracted concentration. It saves you time and the work you produce is so much better. In 1985, Bill Gates took 8 weeks to build the operating system which changed the course of existence for Microsoft and made him over $100 billion today. He did this in a cabin in complete isolation from everyone, working in a state of deep work. This kind of quality of work just is not possible with shallow work. Even until today, Bill Gates continues to have these think weeks where he isolates himself and completely disconnects. I can appreciate most students don't have that kind of luxury, and so the way of getting around this is by developing a routine, and this is called the rhythmic approach. That is, you schedule 1 to 4 hour blocks of deep work into your week. For me, it's every day either at 9 to 12 or 2 to 5 depending on which block I'm free for based on my clinical rota. Every Sunday night, I check my calendar for the week ahead and add these blocks wherever I can. This creates a routine. Imagine without routine like this, on a random afternoon after watching some TikToks, you decide to stop and start revising. This switching of attention and focus will draw heavily on your finite willpower to be able to resist the urge to watch more TikToks. Attempts like this most often fail. On the other hand, if you implement a routine and schedule deep work blocks into your calendar, you require much less willpower to start and keep going. And so in the long run, your deep work attempts will succeed more often. So now let's say it's time for you to do some deep work. The main idea with deep work is that you want to be able to work at your maximum intensity of focus. As mentioned before, the best and only way to do this is to create a distraction-free environment for yourself. The main things to consider are the location, making sure no one will interrupt your flow, knowing what you're going to study, and finally removing all sources of distractions like your phone. Now I'll cover this in a lot more depth in the third video of the series, where I'll also give you ideas on how to remain distraction free even when you have to use your laptop or your phone while studying. Once you've started deep work, set your timer and aim to study for a scheduled amount of time. Cal Newport says in the book that experts claim a novice can enter deep work for about an hour a day, while experts can enter deep work and truly be intensely focused for up to 4 hours. In his book, he discussed the myelinated pathway, where the longer you train yourself, the more myelin sheaths are made, and so you can last even longer the next time you do it. In my short 3 years of entering the state of deep work, I found that it takes a little while to build up this stamina, and I'm averaging about 3-hour sessions at the moment, and you can try it yourself to see how long you last. I'm literally giving you the tip of the iceberg with this book. It honestly changed my life, and everyone who's read it says the same thing. I strongly recommend reading the full book, and I'm going to leave a link for it and its audiobook in the description. Next week, Zoe will talk to you about how to make the most of your deep work sessions using principles laid out in the book Make It Stick. So make sure you subscribe and don't miss it, and I'll see you soon. Take care.